But this is a very important point too, and I'm not saying this just because I do commissioning and have seen all kinds of problems, but the thing is that how do you know what you're getting without getting it verified by a third party? Like I wrote a book, you need an editor. You think you're saying one thing, you might be saying something completely different. You might think that you know what you're doing when you're going into a building, but I mean, people take coffee breaks, they do all kinds of, they get distracted. It's very easy to make mistakes, and if no one's checking it out at the end of the day, you're going to have problems. And I mean, that gets passed on to the customer. So basically, having a third-party inspector is probably the best solution that is widely acceptable in society. And it's not required at the current time, which is the real shame. So I mean, by getting an Energy Star, an R2000, or Passive House, or LEED, or EnerGuide for homes, getting that third party, you're getting that verification. You know what you're getting at the end of the day. And this is doable in commercial buildings, as I said. Retro commissioning is for existing buildings. And then if you've got an older commercial building, you could do energy auditing to find out, you know, what was put in before, what can we do now? Technology is improving. It's improved a lot in the last 5 years. So these are three things that can happen in the commercial world, which make a huge difference. So, and this is something that we really need to think about. In terms of energy efficiency, Canada is the second worst in the industrialized world. And that's partly a function of our climate, but it's also a function of regulation. This blue area here is, the smaller this is, the less efficient our buildings are, and we're second last compared to Russia. But see this area here, this gray area? This is all opportunity. This is where we're lacking, and this is where people's jobs are. This is, if you're in the construction industry, this is your money right here. And it's not just construction either. There's industry, there's buildings, there's transportation, but we have a lot of room for improvement, and that's a lot of jobs. And one of the books that I recommended here is called Reinventing Fire. There's a link to the TED Talk on my website. It's basically an engineering type book that lays out a roadmap, and it says in the book, in the US, they can grow the economy by 154% by basically eliminating this inefficiency and get completely off of fossil fuels by 2050. So here's another thing. This is from Canadian Geographic. It basically shows we're second worst in the home for energy usage. We're second worst in on the move, but because of our industry, we're definitely the highest greenhouse gas province and energy users in the country. So begin with the end in mind. This is Stephen Covey's second habit of highly effective people. Basically, it comes back to what I was saying. What is the end goal of what we're doing? We're growing like crazy in Saskatchewan right now. Why don't we do it right? Why don't we think about what's the end objective here? Are we going to do it as cheap as we can, as fast as we can? Or are we going to set it up so that when the situation changes, everything is okay?